Hey, right everyone, this is Ollie aka English Monkey out for another ride. This time we're going to Nathan Road in Tsim Sha Tsui. So here's where we're headed on the map, just down to the bottom end of the Kowloon Peninsula, about 10 kilometers away from Qingyi. So this video is starting at the top of Nathan Road. This is actually Taipo Road, just as it comes down from the Kowloon Hills. So in 1870, the view looks something like this. I believe this is a French army encampment. This is from the Welcome Library, public domain photo, and you can see the peninsula is completely undeveloped. There were just a couple of villages, Mongkok and Yamate. There was an area that grew flowers, which became today's flower market, perhaps one for another video. But yeah, as you can see, very undeveloped, and you can see right down to the bottom of Tsim Sha Tsui there and the harbour. So yeah, actually the first section of this road was completed just after this photo was taken in 1861, and Nathan Road was the very first road built in Kowloon after the land was ceded to the UK government by the Qing dynasty in 1860 after one of the Opium Wars. Now, it was originally named after Sir Hercules Robinson, Robinson Road, the 5th governor of Hong Kong, but there was also another Robinson Road on Hong Kong Island. So to avoid confusion, in 1909 they changed it to Nathan Road, which is the name of Sir Matthew Nathan, the 13th governor of Hong Kong, who served between 1904 and 1907. So now we're crossing over Boundary Street, which marked the boundary between British Kowloon and China at that time, now known as the New Territories. This is actually the start of Nathan Road proper here, past Boundary Street. This part of the road was completed later in the 1920s, 1926 actually. Part of it now is it takes a slightly different route. The original road actually ran one block to the east through some barracks. At one point in time, this part of the road was named Coronation Road in honour of the coronation of King George V in 1911. So right now we're passing Prince Edward MTR station, and the big white building on the left is Mongkok Police Station. Now the area Prince Edward was actually named after the road nearby, Prince Edward Road, which in turn was named after the Prince of Wales in the early 20th century, who was actually Edward VIII, who reigned for a very short time in the 1930s, before, of course, famously abdicating to marry a divorced American lady. So yeah, the area Prince Edward still bears his name. And we're just passing out of it now into Mongkok, which is one of the busiest shopping areas in Hong Kong. As you can see, it's a Saturday afternoon. It is quite busy. I've seen it a lot busier than this before COVID took its toll, but the tourists especially from mainland China are gradually coming back. So yes, as I said, now we're heading down south into Mongkok proper. As you see, the streets are a little busier around here. So just enjoy the sights and sounds of Nathan Road for a while. So right now we're in the heart of Mongkok. As you can see, it's not really that busy for a Saturday afternoon, and there's still quite a few shops shut down. I guess that is down to the effects of COVID and Hong Kong being closed such a long time. But yeah, just off Nathan Road, where the rents are a bit cheaper, Mongkok still has a diverse number of traditional businesses, shops and restaurants, like Chinese medicine shops, these shops that sell a wide range of herbal remedies and medicines. There are dim sum restaurants. Dim sum is still extremely popular here in Hong Kong. The wet markets of Mongkok, of course, are quite interesting. Other markets, like the ladies' market, where you can buy clothes, and the bird garden as well, a popular destination for bird lovers. Not only that, there's actually just, we're passing now, the street down to the right is famous for Chinese tea. Tea drinking is part of the culture here, and Mongkok has many traditional Chinese tea shops that sell lots of teas and tea accessories at reasonable prices, much cheaper than you'll find in department stores. So as I mentioned earlier, this part of Nathan Road is actually from the 1920s, and this is the Yau Ma Tei area. Yau Ma Tei was a small village by the sea, and its main thoroughfare was actually 2 blocks to the west of here, to the right, to the west of here, along what is now Shanghai Street, right along the old waterfront. Now that's quite an interesting street, really. Plenty of history, so perhaps we can do a ride along there and see what it's like now. So I'm now about to pass the Eaton Hotel. Now this is a large hotel built in the 1970s, quite famous in the Yau Ma Tei area. But actually it used to be the Po Hing Theatre, which was actually the first cinema in Kowloon. So yeah, that was built in 1928, and now, as you can see, we're passing now is the Eaton Hotel. So yes, the early Nathan Road was largely residential, with colonial style houses with arched verandas and covered archways. Believe it or not, Nathan Road now only has one example left of this kind of architecture, built in the mid-1930s at 190 Nathan Road, and we'll pass it in a minute for a look. And it's pretty unbelievable, really, that the whole of Nathan Road was actually lined with these type of buildings, but as I said, now just one remains. And luckily it's now a grade 3 historic building, so I believe it can't be demolished. 190 Nathan Road was actually a pretty important place. It was used by the Japanese army in World War II as a canteen, because it was a restaurant before World War II apparently, and the whole family were forced to become servants of the Japanese military. So yeah, quite a history. But it turns out the sons of the owners of this restaurant were actually spying on the Japanese. But unfortunately they were discovered and they were executed. So yeah, this one remaining building you can see now at 190 Nathan Road actually has quite an interesting history. This old colonial style building at 136 Nathan Road was actually the Kowloon British School. It was a school established in Hong Kong for the education of children of expatriates at the turn of the 20th century. So yeah, it was originally a primary school, and then it was converted into a secondary school in the mid-1930s. The school closed in 1940 after children were ordered out of Hong Kong as World War II began to impact the city. So here we are outside a famous or perhaps infamous Chungking Mansions. It's a large commercial and residential building that was built in 1961 with 5 blocks and over 2,000 apartments, shops and restaurants. So it was intended to be a luxurious apartment complex, but over time it became a hub for low-cost accommodation, trade and commerce, and was in fact a place where I first stayed when I was passing through Hong Kong on a way to working in mainland China in the early 2000s. So yeah, now it's a popular hub for South Asian and African traders who come to Hong Kong to buy and sell goods. So despite its reputation as a budget destination, Chungking Mansions has faced criticism over the years for its poor living conditions and safety concerns. However, the building remains an important part of Hong Kong's history and cultural heritage and continues to attract visitors from all over the world who are drawn to its vibrant and multicultural atmosphere. Now here, right at the south end of Nathan Road, we have the Peninsula Hotel. It's a historic luxury hotel built in 1928 by the famous Kadoorie family, who were prominent business leaders in Hong Kong. The hotel was designed by the architects and engineers responsible for the construction of the famous Raffles Hotel in Singapore too. So yeah, it was the very first hotel in Hong Kong to have air conditioning and ensuite bathrooms in every room when it opened in 1928. And it quickly became a popular destination for wealthy travellers and celebrities such as Charlie Chaplin, Noel Coward and Ernest Hemingway. Peninsula Hotel played a significant role in Hong Kong's history. For example, during World War II it was used as a base by the Japanese army, and it was actually the place where the terms of surrender were signed by the Japanese at the end of World War II. Yeah, and after the war it became a temporary headquarters for the British military when they came back to Hong Kong. So now it's a modern hotel that's undergone a lot of significant renovations from the 70s to the 1990s, with an addition of a new tower. But today it's still regarded as one of the finest luxury hotels in the world, with a reputation for impeccable service, world-class amenities and a rich history and heritage. I hope you enjoyed that trip down Nathan Road, one of the main thoroughfares of Kowloon. This is Ollie, aka English Monkey, signing off. Have a great day.